This is ABC News.
We're talking today with the old woman in the shoe.
Mrs. Shoe, and I'm only 40.
Ooh, sorry. So why the shoe?
We like the mobility.
Well, interesting place. A lot of kids and pets.
And a sloppy husband.
Ooh, well, with all the traffic and spills, I must say, your carpet looks great. Must be new.
No, we just use Capture dry cleaner for carpet. There's no water, steam, or mess. I just sprinkle it on, brush it in, and vacuum up. Nothing's easier or cleaner. We always keep a bucket of Capture around. It also captures odors.
Odors?
This is a shoe, after all.
Ah.
Capture Carpet Dry Cleaner by Milliken at Sears, Color Tile, and carpet stores everywhere. For the ABC Information Network, I'm Lou Adler.
It's time for Adventures in Dental Hygiene.
Why can't we watch a game?
This is the only channel that comes in
The
clear.
ancient Greeks had a word for it, flossos.
Flossos?
Meaning stuff that gets caught between your...
Do what you did for last week's game.
Oh, you mean hold the antenna with my arm up like the Statue of Liberty for 3 hours?
Need to get better TV reception? Then get a new antenna at Radio Shack today. Like our Super Color Outdoor for only $24.88. We'll even set you up with what you need to install it yourself. Radio Shack. You've got questions? We've got answers.
Deny children books, and you create ignorance. Deny children love, and you create hate. Deny children basic health care, and you create a medical emergency, one you can prevent. Through your donation to the Caring Program for Children, you can provide free health insurance for a needy Utah child. And your donation will be matched by Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Help us keep Utah's children healthy. For more information, call 1-800-772-KIDS.
There is no personal victories in my profession, no true self-gratification in what I choose to do, just victim-induced pain. As a professional and as a psychiatrist, I'm expected to be an individual's ruler and master of their own mind. The essential idea of what I do is a simple one, and taught it I was, taught it well by my superiors. I'm to control a person by managing their mind, allowing myself to infiltrate for a moment, grasp onto what they lack, and manipulate the thinking patterns like a piece of fresh clay. I would think that would be enough for my state of well-being. I've worked hard at what I do, probably too hard. It all started after I received my degree.
It's so great that you finally achieved what you've dreamed about for all these years, Bruce. Not everyone gets to that place in such a short time.
Yeah, well, Shirley, I couldn't have done it without you. I've said before, you're my one and only inspiration.
Oh, geez. Please don't say that. When you say that, I feel as if your inspiration might be better named as your inspirational guinea pig.
Of course not. You're just a wonderful study, dear, as well as a great lover.
Let's celebrate. We can sign up for that murder mystery cruise that you've hinted about.
No, I can't.
Why not?
You know perfectly well why I can't, and why I won't. You do that on purpose, always trying to dominate and control my every action.
Oh, it was just a suggestion.
And a bad one at that. I may have just graduated with a degree in psychiatry and might possibly be on my way to amassing a fortune for the both of us. But I can't let my hobby, which is of no merit, interfere with my newfound profession.
Fine with me.
And there I was, a graduate from the university, a graduate in psychology, trying to forget about the silly and ridiculous fascination that had turned into a relentless hobby for me. I was enthralled by the idea of murder paraphernalia. That's why Shirley thought I'd enjoy one of those murder mystery cruises. You know, the ones where a staged murder occurs, and each participant acts as an amateur detective to solve the crime. Not my idea of a relaxing vacation. I felt I needed to cure my ills, and continually discussing the aspects of gruesome murders was not on my current agenda. Or so I thought.
Well, it's about time you got home. Your dinner's been ready for 45 minutes. Why didn't you call?
I was stuck on the freeway. Gridlock. Enough to drive a man crazy.
Drive you crazy. Drive you crazy. What about me? This is the third time this week. Either it's you're stuck on the freeway or you had to stay late with one of your wacko patients. I'm tired of this.
Hold on.
Do you want fast food every night of the week? That's what it's coming to. When you don't come home on time, the food gets cold. You don't like your food cold, do you?
Of course not. Don't you realize I'm trying to support you in every way possible? Every day I discuss other people's problems.
That's the big problem. You concentrate on other people's problems. By doing so, you lose touch with what we're struggling with.
And what is that? What may that be?
You talk so much about how everybody seeks to get their needs met. Well, lately my needs have been squashed.
You're being mighty unreasonable. Quit complaining. Don't I always bring home the big paycheck?
Sure you do, but you squander that as you squander your time. Always researching and bidding on that stupid murder collection. Do you think I enjoy living in a house with a bunch of morbid weapons and photos of murder sites?
Originally, you were the one supporting me in my endeavors. I'm only trying to make myself happy.
Make yourself happy? You are impossible.
You need to find a better way to diffuse your anger.
Oh, you and your psychiatric mumbo-jumbo. I've had it.
That was only one of the confrontations I had with my wife, Shirley. It continued for another stifling 3 months. There were the usual separations for days at a time, plus the routine makeup sessions. I realized that the marriage wasn't working, yet I continually tried to use my talents to make it work. Because of the constant stress at home, I needed something to whet my appetite. I spent more and more time pursuing the items of my interest. Murder. I couldn't even explain to myself why I was so interested in such a horrible fascination. I couldn't take ownership to it. Only Shirley knew about my collection. I prided myself on the gloves, the knives, the guns, all that were received after trials from police investigations as well as evidence warehouses. Funny how someone of my living would continue such an unexplained avocation.
I want a divorce.
What?
I said I want a divorce. Luckily, we have no children.
Hey, you said you wanted me to work for this marriage. Make it work. Haven't I been home constantly?
Sure you have, but you're totally independent of me. I feel like I'm married to a zombie.
Fine, quit right in the middle. You got it.
Good.
At that point in my life, I slipped into a deep depression. Such isn't good for a psychiatrist working with similar patients. It was the blind leading the blind. After the divorce, I stopped hearing from Shirley. I thought it would have been a simple and easier split, hoping to remain friends. I was wrong. I started getting frustrated with work, almost as frustrated as I was with Shirley. I was bored with my patients. I began hating the sight of them. I broke the psychiatric credo several times by discussing their problems with anyone I'd set my eyes on. It seemed to turn on the women, you know, chatting about the man who thinks he's dead, the cross-dressing midget, that woman who believes she was sexually attacked by aliens. I became engrossed in going beyond collecting the murder items. I fascinated myself by the idea of committing a murder. And I went even further. I thought about killing someone, anyone, without actually committing the act. Fascinating stuff. It pushed me farther than I've ever ventured in my studies. That's it. It would only be a psychiatric study, and I had the merchandise. My patience. The soundstage will return in just a moment with Thinly Sliced Murder.
This is Kimberly Perkins. Your baby's early years are fascinating. First smiles, first steps, first words. Those early years, those first signs are so important. Watch your baby. If you're concerned about your child's development, call 1-800-826-9662 and ask for Baby Watch.
Brought to you by the Department of Health, Health Trust Utah, for Utah Kids, and the UBA.
Well, I'm here on the 91st floor of the Empire State Building with Buzz Miller, builder of the world's tallest sandwich. How tall is that, Buzz?
Around 91 floors.
What kind is it?
Peanut butter.
Regular old peanut butter?
No, Peter Pan Smart Choice. 25% less fat, but you'd never know.
How's that, Buzzer?
Tastes great.
Unbelievable sandwich. Unbelievable peanut butter, right?
You got it.
Peter Pan Smart Choice, reduced fat peanut butter, 25% less fat with great taste. Unbelievable, but true.
Hey, you want to hand me that T-square?
What does it look like?
Don't be smart.
Hello, Dr. Hopkins. Sorry I'm late. I was stuck in traffic.
Yeah, sure. Never worked on my wife.
What's that, Dr. Hopkins?
Nothing. Sit down, Mr. Nichols. How have you been since our last session?
Oh, I've been shopping like you said. Shopping in women's stores, especially the big and tall shops. I'm more and more repulsed by those huge dresses and gigantic lingerie.
What are you talking about, Mr. Nichols?
Well, didn't you advise me to help with my attraction of dressing in woman's clothes, to explore it and open myself to all the possibilities?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, how did that make you feel?
I'm more comfortable with my obsession. I feel that I'm not the strange, insane person that I perceive myself to be. I'm starting to feel great about cross-dressing and feeling like a woman feels.
Ah, hell's bells. You have no idea what it's like to be a woman. I don't think even my wife knows what it's like to be a woman. They'll ruin you, then crush you at the last possible moment. They're there to cause you irreparable harm. Why in God's name would you want to know what it's like to be a woman, Mr. Nichols?
What are you saying?
Why do you want to be a woman? Why would a guy like you enjoy wearing dresses? You're a nut, a psychotic mess.
Hey, I've told you everything about me. My intimate fantasies. My whole life story. You are supposed to help me understand myself.
Go home, Mr. Nichols. Put on a pair of jeans for once. Realize that you're sick. Perverted, Mr. Nichols.
I'm shocked.
You should be shocked. You wear silk panties.
I'm leaving and stopping payments on my past checks. You are an outrage.
Mr. Nichols never returned to my office. Why I went against everything I learned was beyond me. During the altercation with Mr. Nichols, I began to hate everything about him, his hair, his eyes, his lips, his love for cross-dressing. I'd come so far with his issues, all gone, but I still had a huge client list, and I hated them all. Every single client had some unimaginable malignity in their minds. I didn't realize it at the time, but so did I. Time passed slowly with my hatred for all these crazy people. I dubbed them crazy in my mind. We were taught never to use the term crazy in our treatment of patients, but I didn't care. I said I hated them all. I despised their little atrocities. Instead of wasting my time helping these nuts, I was determined to destroy them. But I was attempting my murder study all wrong. Why was I seeking to wipe out my clientele? Was my anger used the incorrect way against Shirley? To kill a man through controlling his mind would place me at ease. An ease a therapist of my kind could never achieve via my own counsel. Similar to a surgeon operating upon himself, it needed to be done. It had to be done, and I knew how I could do it. If I could insinuate suicidal tendencies upon a suicidal patient, the power of suggestion could empower my soul to unreachable heights. I had weapons collected. Now I could finally collect a soul, never to be caught. It was the perfect crime, achievable with a surprising ease. I hungered. Then I realized that Mr. Coswell had made an emergency appointment.
I'm so glad you were able to squeeze me in on such short notice, Doctor.
Yes, I'm always there when my patients need me.
I'm miserable. My wife hasn't returned. My kids won't speak to me. I've done everything possible to ease my pain, but I'm horribly stuck.
Are you still delusional? Do you still have thoughts of suicide, Mr. Coswell?
Honestly?
Yes.
I'm at my wit's end. I had the razors in my hand last evening. I was ready to attempt the suicide. Then I remembered all that you taught me. Dr. Hopkins, you've helped me in ways you'll never realize.
It's important that you realize it is you who have made those changes, not I. I have merely helped you change your thinking patterns, that's all.
But you've helped me. I can't deny you that. If only I had more power over my own surroundings, Doctor, maybe I could figure out why I can't come to kill myself. I'm not a courageous person. It takes a great amount of courage to kill yourself.
At that moment, I would normally begin to take notes upon a patient progress sheet, filling in the crucial information on how far a patient has progressed through therapy. Mr. Coswell continued to talk as I began to notice my previous session notes. I had made careful notice to each session remarks on Coswell's suicide pattern. Weekly, he would enter my office, down and out, bitching about his wife and kids never coming back to him. Near the end, he would, without fail, always close the session with a comment about killing himself. This time, he mentioned it right off, and my plan was set in stone.
Dr. Hopkins?
What?
Dr. Hopkins, have you ever thought about killing yourself?
No. Can't say I have, Mr. Coswell. But say, if I had an experimental assignment for you, would you be willing to try it?
I guess. What kind of experiment?
A truly easy and powerful psychiatric experiment. One that will permanently cure you. It will cure you of your suicidal behaviors.
Anything you say, Doc.
Meet me here tomorrow, say around 7:30. I'll make note of it here as another emergency appointment.
Oh, thanks, Doctor. You don't know how much help you've truly been.
Yes, Mr. Coswell, I guess I don't know how much of help I've been. That's because I truly don't care about you sniveling losers without a life, wandering from pillar to post, hoping that someone with a miserable piece of paper called a degree could help you. I was no longer a servant to the mental health community. I'd taken a career without any real purpose. I knew all along that these types of people could never be cured. They were without merit in this world. So I would exterminate them. Mr. Coswell wanted to kill himself, but yet couldn't find the courage within him. I had the ultimate plan, though. I would create an experiment. An experiment where the patient must face his own fear. Yes, I would let Mr. Coswell attempt suicide in my office. I had many guns and revolvers lying around. Yes, let Mr. Coswell feel secure in knowing that pulling that trigger in my office was safe. That might create the illusion that he is courageous. Except he won't know it, but the revolver will be loaded. The perfect crime. Except he won't know it. A suicidal patient makes an emergency appointment to see psychiatrist. No family left, no kids to witness or testify. Just a sick, lonely, disturbed individual to be removed from this life. The next afternoon, I carefully prepared my plan. I loaded the gun silently. Ecstatic I was to finally rid the world of a useless piece of mentally disturbed trash. He was the one with the problem, not I. And as I imagined his demise and how the police would exonerate me entirely, I began to hear voices from the back of the room. A familiar voice that I thought I'd gotten rid of months ago.
Hello, Bruce.
Shirley? Shirley? What are you doing here?
Well, I've had a lot of time to think, and maybe you were right. It shouldn't have ended this way. Maybe I wasn't ready for marriage, but I feel that I am now.
I looked at the clock. 4:55 in the afternoon. She had to leave. I couldn't take any chances.
Honey, let me make you some dinner. You look famished. Do you still stock the refrigerator with the same goodies?
The kitchen. The kitchen. She couldn't go in the kitchen. Oh, no. She's ruining everything. I always knew Shirley was the spoiling variety.
Go on, move out of the way. Let me into the kitchen, darling.
No. No! Why is she doing this? I knew the gun was there on the table in plain view. Shirley would be bound to see it loaded and suspect something.
What is so important that I can't use my old kitchen?
That's it, your old kitchen. It was never my kitchen, always your kitchen. Let me ask you something. Why are you back here? Why don't you just leave me alone?
Well, that's a fine welcome. I'm your ex-wife. Your ex-wife. Doesn't that amount to anything?
Why show up now? Why of all things?
Well, I want you back. Come on, honey, move out of the way. I'll make you some fried spam.
Fried spam? Fried spam? What kind of woman returns to her husband after a bitter divorce and then insists upon him eating fried spam? I hate spam, and I hate you.
All right, have it your way. I'll make you a sandwich out here. Just let me open this fresh can of spam.
No! No, get away from me with that! It's pink! It's fatty! Get that spam away from me, you bitch!
Relax, Bruce. This is a very lean can. Look at it. It can be sliced thin, just the way you like it. A nice big fresh spam sandwich. Would you like some lettuce?
I'm warning you. First you try to infiltrate my kitchen. Then you wave a can of spam in front of me. I ought to kill you. She would not interfere with my murderous plan anymore. I looked at it. I looked at the clock. It was only 5:05. I had plenty of time to make it into my office without anyone seeing the gun or the bullets. Yes, I dragged Shirley's body down into the cellar along with the half-open can of spam. Oh, how I hated spam. I then set my alarm for 7:15 and drifted off to sleep.
Now, tell me, Doctor, what is this experiment all about?
It's a simple one, Mr. Coswell. See this revolver?
Why, yes.
You mentioned previously your courage. Or shall I say, lack of, when you attempted to kill yourself. I brought this unloaded gun so that you can prove to yourself that you are a very courageous person. It's an experiment that I devised myself, just for your sake. Prove to yourself that you are not a coward.
But, are you sure, Doctor?
Of course I'm sure. Don't you trust me?
Well, I guess. What do I do?
At that point, I checked to be sure that the striker was in line with a bullet. It was. I then handed the loaded revolver to Mr. Coswell.
Oh, gee, I've never held a gun before.
That is what makes this experiment so powerful. By using the unloaded revolver, you established trust between yourself, and more importantly, Mr. Coswell, you established a trust with others, including me. Go on, hold it in your hand.
Like this?
Yes, very good, very good. That's it. Now, wrap your finger around the trigger softly, and recite your many fears to me.
I'm a little frightened about all this.
Yes, of course you are. That's perfectly natural at this stage in your therapy. Go on, Mr. Coswell. It's important that you tell me your fears.
Well, I'm scared to death of real commitment. I hate my parents. I despise my wife. I'm scared of my children, that my children need me.
And what can you do about that, Mr. Coswell?
Kill myself.
What's that, Mr. Coswell? I didn't quite hear you.
Kill myself.
Again, scream it at the top of your lungs.
I hate myself. I hate my life. I want to die.
That's it. Wrap your hand around the gun. Hold the barrel to your temple. Yes, that's it. Hey, wait a minute. What is that on the desk there?
What? Huh?
What did you bring with you? Is that a sack lunch?
Dr. Hopkins, what about this experiment?
Screw the experiment. You brought a sack lunch, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, but for the both of us, I thought it would be a nice gesture.
Nice gesture? Nice gesture? Put that gun back to your head, you crazy idiot.
Doctor, I don't understand.
Give me that sack lunch. I said give it to me.
Fine. There it is. I don't see what the big problem is.
Let me see here. Well, we have your chips, orange slices. Spam! You packed yourself a Spam sandwich, you miserable little twerp. You and my wife. Why are you doing this to me?
But
you hate me. You.
I've had enough, Doctor. This experiment is too strange for me. I'm going home.
No, you can't go home. You have to continue the experiment for my sake.
Here is your revolver. Goodbye, Doctor.
Don't put that revolver down. Come back here. You haven't pulled the trigger yet. Come, get back here. All right, give me that revolver. I'll do it myself, you miserable spam-eating psychopath. Hey, Mr. Coswell, you psychotic bastard. That will teach him. I always knew I had a way with my patients. That's why they always keep coming back to me. I just don't like spam. No spam today for this doctor. No spam today. Somehow the authorities got me. I don't know how, but they did. I'm now a patient at the Viewmont Mental Institution. I'll say it again. There is no personal victory in my profession. No true self-gratification in what I choose to do. Not even in murder. Just victim-induced pain.
Mr. Hopkins, your lunch is ready. 2 nice, fresh, thinly sliced Spam sandwiches.
You've been listening to the Soundstage presentation of Donovan's Thinly Sliced Murder. In the cast tonight were Donovan as Dr. Hopkins, as Coswell and Nichols, Steve Anderson, and as Shirley, Shannon Drussel. You're tuned to 1320 KCNR Super Talk. We'll be right back.
Whatever happened to the neighborhood pharmacist? A professional who'd give you a caring smile and some trusted advice. There's one nearby at Value Right, America's neighborhood pharmacy, independently owned, caring, with great prices, too. Like this $1 Day special, Nutrinail 60-second nail polish, the 1-coat nail enamel, just $2.50. Buy 3 shades and get a $2 refund at participating Value Right pharmacies. Check your yellow pages. Value Right, America's neighborhood pharmacy.
It's time for Adventures in Dental Hygiene.
Why can't we watch a game?
This is the only channel that comes in clear.
The Greeks had a word for it, flossos.
Flossos?
Stuff that gets caught between your...
Do what you did for last week's game.
Oh, you mean hold the antenna with my arm up like the Statue of Liberty for 3 hours?
Need to get better TV reception? Then get a new antenna at Radio Shack today. Like our Super Color Outdoor for only $24.88. We'll even set you up with what you need to install it yourself. Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers.
Deny children books, and you create ignorance. Deny children love, and you create hate. Deny children basic health care, and you create a medical emergency, one you can prevent. Through your donation to the Caring Program for Children, you can provide free health insurance for a needy Utah child. And your donation will be matched by Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Help us keep Utah's children healthy. For more information, call 1-800-772-KIDS.
We were all out there having a good time, laughing and joking around. I danced. When all of a sudden we heard gunshots. Three shots fired. It was a boy laying on the floor, dying. He was killed. There's somebody that you knew of was now gone. It really hurt. That was the last dance that we ever had.
Unfortunately, Alicia's story is all too common. Too many children have had their childhood taken from them. Fear of violence is robbing our nation's children of their future. We must take away that fear and give them hope. As a parent, I want this violence to stop. And as your president, I'm committed to ending it. We must give Alicia and all our children back their childhood. Working together, we can.
Call 1-800-WE-PREVENT now to find out what you can do. 1-800-WE-PREVENT. A public service message of this station, the Crime Prevention Coalition, the Justice Department, and the Ad Council.
Deborah Robertson is only 38 years old, a loving wife and mother to 4 wonderful daughters. But recently, she was diagnosed with stage 2 high-risk breast cancer. There is a probability of her cancer reoccurring unless she undergoes a treatment called high-dose chemotherapy and stem cell rescue. Doctors believe Debbie's condition is in an optimal stage to perform this procedure, which could render her cancer-free. But her insurance carrier has declined coverage for this operation, and the University of Utah quotes the price for this surgery as high as $144,000. Deborah Robertson desperately needs your help, so please send donations to the Deborah Robertson Medical Trust care of Barnes Bank at 33 South Main Street in Kaysville, Utah, 84037. Make a difference, Utah. For more information, please call 485-6700.
The phone lines are now open. 570-1320 in Salt Lake County, 470-1320 in Utah County, and 670-1320 in Ogden and North Davis County. Your phone calls are next on 1320 KCNR.
Super Talk 1320 KCNR. Finally, a station for the people, not the politicians.
All right, we are back on Super Talk 1320 KCNR. How did the soundstage go? Did you like my story?
Yes, we want to know.
Felt like I actually became crazy there. No spam on my show.
There was spittle flying all over the equipment, so whoever's on next after us is going to have to bring some wiper, some cleaner stuff.
Did I really do that?
Yes, you did.
Let me move this out of the way here. Let's see what the audience thought. If you'd like to phone in, you know the numbers 4-5 and or 670-1320. Let's go to John in Salt Lake County. John, you're live on Super Talk 1320.
Hi, your show is hilarious. It's the funniest one I ever heard.
Uh-oh, was it meant to be a comedy, Donovan?
Was it? Well, did you find it scary at all, or was
no,
it
not
just?
really.
Was it like a dark comedy?
I found it very funny.
Kind of a dark comedy, huh?
Yeah.
John, how old are you?
9.
You listen to these shows weekly?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite performer?
S.T. Romney.
No.
You, Ron Schultz.
Oh, you know them all, don't you?
Martin Davies.
And, yeah, Martin Davis.
Well, that's good.
Niels Crenshaw.
Oh, my goodness. You're starting young. The
and G. Gordon Liddy.
G. Gordon Liddy?
Yeah.
Now, G. Gordon Liddy's not on our station.
Do you have time to do anything else in your 9-year-old life?
Yeah.
You know, John, when I was 9 years old, I enjoyed listening to the radio as well. I think back. Is that all we had was radio?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. John, did you like the spam idea?
Yeah.
Do you like spam?
Yeah. I'm going to bring you a spam sandwich
Please,
next Saturday.
no.
Spam,
No, John, no spam. Please, no spam. I wrote this story because I wanted to capitalize on my worst fear. And my worst fear is spam. You know what's in spam? Okay, John, thank you very much for calling, and tune in again.
Okay, bye.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
We appreciate the comments of a 9-year-old listener to talk radio.
Anyone else out there? Do you have a comment? I mean, if it sucked, tell us it sucked.
Yes.
You can tell us that.
Down deep in our heart of hearts, we hope you don't, but be honest. If it did suck in your opinion.
I want you to be brutally honest, because this is one of my little adventures. Steve, when are you writing your script? Your story?
I do not have that talent, but I'd love to read them.
Now, I remember when we first did For Devil's Sake on the radio here. when was that? That was like, I think, May, June.
Yeah, that
somewhere
was,
in there.
I think, was it our second or third soundstage on KCNR?
Yeah, it's a super soundstage now.
Mhm.
That's a good
That's
name. Which one did you like better? I know you really liked For Devil's Sake.
Well, let's
And not
see.
probably because I wrote it, but it was just a good story.
This is an odd one because on the last one you wrote, I saw it a week in advance and we practiced and did all this stuff. But on this one, I saw it when I came into the studio this evening, so I only had time to underline my parts and read them as I went, and it looked like it was going to be a goodie, so...
I would love to do this one again.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, sometime down the road, we've got to pull this one out again. Tell Matthew to hold. We're going to go to George next. George, you're
Yeah,
live on
Donovan.
Super Talk. Yes.
How you doing?
I've never heard from you before, have I?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Tonight
George.
was the first time I heard the soundstage, and being that I'm a regular customer of Hormel, perhaps you could call Minnesota sometime and get them to be a sponsor of yours.
Why are you guys doing this to me?
Well, because it would be a big account.
Probably. I never
then
thought
you're-
about that.
With the biggest spam country in the nation. I mean, spam company in the nation.
Well, you have to realize this is Utah.
It is. Now, I want somebody to corroborate, or what word am I looking for, to actually tell me they don't like spam either, so I don't feel like I'm a total basket case here.
Or if you had the chance to do this soundstage, what would you substitute in place of spam? Your favorite, would it be Jello with fruit in it?
That's a great idea. What
How
would
about
it be?
try Miller Bacon?
I don't know about Miller
Is
Bacon.
it extra greasy or what?
It could be. It's cheap.
Cheap. It just seems like spam is one of those things, though, that everybody can associate with.
It's expensive.
Spam is expensive.
Oh, yeah.
But how can people take it seriously when it's got such a funny sounding name?
I don't know.
Spam. Give me some spam, ma'am.
What about the story? What about the theme and the plot?
I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it.
I
My
actually
wife enjoyed it, too.
I felt like I was going crazy there at the end. I was really going overboard.
Yes, he was going cuckoo. Oh, message between. He doesn't like spam
good,
either.
good.
Anyway, I'm sure there's another caller on the line, so I'll let you all go.
Okay, thank you, George. George,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Bye-bye. Another satisfied
customer,
soundstage listener. Bob Giles, the producer who sounds like God, he just came in the studio and said he dislikes spam. Who else dislikes spam out there?
I dislike spam, he said.
Maybe this guy. Who is this on line 2?
Hi, buddy.
Who's this?
This is Matthew.
The one, the only.
You got that one right, Steve.
Okay, Matthew. What's your rating? You always give us a rating on these
Yep. Today it's 20 out of 20.
Oh, yep.
shows. Why did we get a 20?
Well, you guys did it real good this time.
How did it compare with the last one we did?
The last time it was 50 out of 60.
And why was that?
It frightened Matt.
It was a little bit spooky?
Yeah.
Kind of on the spooky side, the morbid side, the creepy ending side. Well, this one had kind of a weird ending, but it was more comedic, wasn't it? Sort of funny.
It was a comedy.
Matthew, does this music frighten you?
No.
You told me once before it did, and I felt a little reluctant about using this scary music.
At one time it did scare me.
Not anymore?
That's right.
Well, you're growing up, Matt. That's good.
I am afraid of spiders.
You have arachnophobia.
Yeah.
Do you ever see that film?
No.
You don't want to see that.
What is the worst spider, in your opinion, to confront one day coming home to your apartment? Which the
Daddy long legs.
You mean
those are safe.
Oh, I thought you'd say black widow spider. Those are the creepiest in my book.
Or
Daddy
brown
long
recluse.
legs are the creepiest
Now-
in my book.
Black widows are handsome spiders, but they are deadly.
Do you have a lot of spiders in your apartment, Matt?
No.
You don't have any. You can spray those things, you know.
I'd rather kill it.
Well, wait a minute, Matthew. You don't want to destroy all the spiders because who's going to take care of them fruit flies? Those ones that buzz around in your kitchen?
Okay, Matt. Matt's going off into the distance.
Okay.
Matt, you're fading.
Okay, bye-bye.
You're fading. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
See ya, Matt. Well. Yes,
I'm confused at that name on the board, Bob. What is that? What is that name?
Amway.
She said her name is Amanity, and you got her last name on the screen. in case
Amanity.
You don't want to air it.
Amanity.
Mm.
Wow. Bob, you're the greatest speller in talk radio. Amanity?
No, that's not my name.
I don't know what Bob's doing out there. What's Bob doing? Are you confusing Bob?
No.
What is your name?
Amanda.
Amanda.
My last name is D. Hart.
Please don't use your last name on the program.
Don't?
Yes. That's okay, though. You already did, so
Well,
you're
Amanda,
live.
wow, Amanda, what did you think of our Soundstage?
You're live on 1320 KCNR Super Talk. Got to give that in there.
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you think, Amanda?
I really didn't understand it.
What was it you didn't understand?
Well, why is the spam in there?
Well, at the beginning of the program, the psychiatrist mentions that he works in a profession where nobody really wins. It's it's a lose-lose situation for both sides. And then his wife is a real nag, as some wives are. Not saying all wives are nags, but some are. You understand that. And, he starts going crazy at the end, and he collects murder weapons, and he wants to kill someone, and he tries to do it with one of his patients, and he finally loses it at the end.
So if it wasn't for his wife serving spam at that point, it wouldn't have had that way of ending.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow his wife chose to serve him spam that evening, and that really set him off.
As well as the patient, Mr. Coswell, who also had a spam sandwich in his lunch sack.
Yes, the suicide guy. But did you feel it detracted or added or to the... Do you think it could have done without or what?
Well, yeah, kind of.
Could have done it without the spam.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I wrote it, because one of my worst fears is spam. I hate spam.
Really?
What is it you resent? What kind of food?
What do I resent?
Yeah, what food do you hate to eat?
Onions.
Well, see, in your story, it would be onions that would drive you crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm glad.
So the spam put you over the edge is what it did. If it wasn't for that spam, maybe it wouldn't have escalated that far. To that crescendo kind of ending you had. I don't know, what am I saying?
Amanda, how old are you?
I'm 14.
You're 14. Well, I guess once you reach a certain age, you begin to wonder what's in the food you're eating.
Yeah.
And you realize that some foods have the ability to drive you batty. Thank you very much, Amanda, for your call.
All right.
Hope you continue listening. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Let's bring in the female member.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Let me do this. Shannon is back. What did you... I want your opinion, both your opinion, your Shannon and Steve's as well, of my performance. I thought I lost it at the end. I mean, I was seriously mad. I got into the story. I was mad about that spam. Where'd that spam come from? Where is it?
Well, let me tell you, I didn't expect you to turn out the way you did at the end, having not quite read the script verbatim. But, I mean, you started out kind of mellow, and then gradually it went into insanity, into the red.
Exactly. I can't wait to hear it back. What did you think?
Well, you actually scared me. I couldn't even look at you. It did. Knowing you, as well as I do, I've never seen you act that way.
Especially when he called you up.
Well, that was part of the script. Everyone understands that it's just right, that most of my feelings don't come out in my scripts, but some of them do.
Some of them are things you might wish you could say, but...
Yeah, that's the fun about writing. I'll tell you something. I started the story, it started out as a real serious play. We're just trying to discover the dark side of doctors.
Then it degenerated into spam land.
But it didn't degenerate. It actually moved up to a different level. I am just so happy this worked out. Spam, spam, spam. What is it, audience, that you fear? Now, Shane, you can tell me, what is it, if you had to write a horror story and had to magnify that ultimate fear, what would be that fear?
Ooh.
I'm putting you on the spot.
I know, that's not an easy question.
Well, while she's thinking, did I tell you, Steve, that I think I broke my nose over the weekend?
You did. That's news to me now.
Well, I mean, while you're here, I'm going to give you a bad time.
Oh, gosh. I'm so embarrassed.
Shannon and I, we were watching a video, and wasn't there like a soda pop on the floor or something, or a can of soda? And I'd reached down to grab it.
And I had reached down to grab it also.
And as your head came up, your head conked me right in the nose.
Oh,
is it swollen?
God. No, it looks fine.
It looks like you got a little dent there, though, on your nose.
I don't know what's going on.
This is it.
Let's not talk about that.
I wasn't there.
You weren't there, but no, I don't reciprocate those kind of things. I just lied there with an ice pack on my nose, and it looked absolutely ridiculous. Oh, no. No, Bob, are we taking this phone call? Bob, should we take this? Yeah, let's take this phone call.
Amy.
Amy.
Donovan, Premium, and Shannon. It's so exciting.
You sound like Miss...